Okay, so now the game's a survival server where the currencies in the game is money, and if life has taught me anything, it's that money equals power. At the moment, my bank account looked a lot like my IQ count, which was not satisfactory. It was then when I made the goal to become the richest person on this faction server, and have wealth like this guy who I found off stock images. So there's two ways to make money in this game. You can mine for crate keys, but the problem with that was they had the risk of running into diorite, and that was not a risk I was willing to take. The second option was to get zombie spawners and then sell the rotten flesh they give when you kill them, and mass genocide sounded like a lot better option than having to risk running into diorite. While testing out the zombie spawner, I actually discovered a glitch which could be exploitable, and if I use it right, could make me millions. You see, the way spawners work on this server is that instead of creating multiple zombies at once using the spawner, it actually crams it into one entity to reduce lag, but I found a way to bypass that. Apparently, when the zombies spawn 16 or more blocks apart, they don't combine. This could increase the money made by these farmers by a ton, and as far as I knew, I was the only person who knew about this, and this could be the most effective money-making method yet. Using this, I could finally get enough money to buy myself a girlfriend. But I was getting too far ahead of myself, because to make this would cost an arm, a leg, and your least favorite grandma. You see, the zombie spawners that I'm using for this project cost $100,000 each. I don't have that kind of money. I need millions of dollars. Who do I look like, Jeff Bezos? I'm a frickin' dog. I wasn't about to grind keys for several minutes to get the money that I needed. That's exactly what they want me to do. So instead, I resorted to the one thing that's never failed me: capitalism. I then spent the next several hours using my expert business skills to make deals like these, but it wasn't enough. I then started looking for investors to fund the project so I didn't have to grind for stuff to sell. The problem was a lot of people weren't actually interested in investing like It's Luke Plays. I took this as just him being broke, so I moved on. However, it turns out that there was actually a lot of widespread poverty on this server because as I kept looking for people to invest, nobody was willing to fund me, so I had to think of something else. I could grind crate keys like everyone else, but like my doctor said, I'm special and I need to embrace it. And also, while other people would grind keys for several hours, I chose sleep. So instead, I just decided to make an AFK method. You can actually AFK mine keys by just holding down the mine button at a cobble generator, which is great because you reach the desirable goal of not having to play the game. To quote my ex-girlfriend, this was not working well enough and it needed an upgrade. So I upgraded it. After AFKing for a few hours, I managed to get myself 500 keys, which was good, but I knew it wasn't enough. So I went back to finding investors, and luckily I finally found one. A great man by the name of Disco Potato. With the help of Disco Potato, the farm was starting to become a reality. So after opening my 500 keys and getting a pitiful donation from Mr. Potato Head himself, I finally got enough resources to build the farm. Now what I just built, there was a spawning chamber where I could place the zombie spawners there and then they would just fall into the lava and die so their loot would be collected. I actually put 3 more of those kill chambers in the farm. The thing is I didn't include them in the montage because my Clash of Clans was ready and I didn't have time to edit. Anyways, this is how the farm works so far, and the way this works is, so the spawners
as you
between
AFK,
each
then
zombie also
calculate
changes
to
how much
calculate
life
it actually changes how much
don't
made
fall
per
out of
second.
everything, and that's how the spawner makes $300,000 every hour. The problem was this is not nearly as much money as I needed to make from this farm, as prices for applesauce were only increasing and I had no more grandmas left to give, so I had to do something. And so, I resorted to seeking advice from a ruler of their time, a leader, someone known for their great wisdom and knowledge, and a personal idol of mine. That person is Sharpay Evans from the hit music video High School Musical. I took advice from one of her songs where she repeatedly said bigger is better, and that means one thing. I had to add more spawners than my only pitiful 7 in this farm, but luckily I had a few. So I got to work. Also, if you're a little confused by that Sharpay bit, I was told to put that on a lost Fortnite bet. Don't gamble, kids. So I started adding more spawners to the farm to increase the money I made, but then this message showed up. Apparently, Nether Games put a limit to how many spawners you can have in a chunk to reduce lag and actually make the game fair. Unacceptable. I added more spawners to the farm in the meantime to increase the money output to $500,000 every hour. Expanding the farm would require a lot of money, and sadly I was fresh out as I just spent it all on spawners and betting on the Jets. Or to the wise, never bet on the Jets. So after grinding keys, extorting people against their browser history, and selling Spider-Man NFTs, I finally had enough money to start the farm. After adding more sections, the upgraded farm looks like this, making a total of $1.2 million an hour. I would have added a montage of me upgrading the farm, but the problem was... But this was just phase 1 of the farm, and I had very big plans to upgrade it, so if you want to see part 2, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.